So, Dorcas.
Thank you, Jeff. I hate to tell you, I wish I'd seen this because I wouldn't have worked so hard yesterday on trying to think of what I was going to say today. But anyway, this is a story about Jesse. It starts, when there was a store in the Green, and there was a wooden bench that ran the whole length of the store, and the old man used to gather there and wait for the stage. He brought the mail up from Randolph. And one day, they heard a conversation between Jessie and George Fulham, her hired man. He referred to Jessie's marital state, or lack of. And Jessie said to him, "My father said, don't marry a man unless he's got money or brains." Well, Jesus, Jessie, he says, I guess you never met one that had enough of either, did you? Which I want to talk now. I didn't realize how much I talked the last time. But anyway, the mystery man in Jessie's life was named Dr. Goodale Littman. He was born in Latvia, which is now part of Russia. He was a Russian Jew. And in 1888, the family was nervous about the situation in Europe and decided to immigrate to America. They settled in New Jersey, bought a farm, and that's where Dr. Littman got his start in agriculture. There's a little discrepancy about what happened. He attended classes at Cornell in chemistry and bacteriology, which is they were just beginning to realize the components of soil and how important it was. Then he entered the Rutgers School of Agriculture. He was the first Jewish person to ever do that. He was very successful, rose through the ranks, and when Jessie graduated from high school, from UVM in 1917, he was dean of the agricultural school at Rutgers. He wrote to her and said that they were looking for an assistant in the seed laboratory, and they felt that she would be the person. If she was interested, they wanted her there by the 1st of July. She went and stayed 45 years. That was her first encounter with Dr. Littman. She took a master's course, got her master's degree in botany. She had a riding school in New Brunswick with about 15 to 20 horses that she owned and operated. She worked at the seed laboratory, and when Douglas College was founded, they asked if she would be an associate professor in botany. She did, and stayed there. Maybe 45 years, it was a long time anyway. But in 1931, they had a seed congress, an international seed congress in the Netherlands. And Dr. Littman urged her to apply for it. She did. She got it. And it ended up, she was in the Netherlands at this huge meeting with 124 men from all over the world and Jesse. I'm sure she held her own. From there, he wanted her to see Europe. So she had a 9-week visit in Europe, which he orchestrated from his office in New Brunswick. He set her up with the people that she needed to know to get into all of the seed laboratories in Europe. He made sure that she saw the sites that you should see when you go to Europe. And he wrote to her about every 3 or 4 days. In his last letter, he said, the last thing we talked about was an invitation to Brookfield. Is that still open? And obviously it was, because Jesse brought Dr. Lippman to Brookfield. He met Jesse's mother, and he met my grandmother, Olive, which was Jesse's sister. Evidently, they all were harmonious, and Dr. Lippman said to Jesse, if I were you, I would make sure I bought this property of your mother's. I would add to it, and I would have a summer riding school. He said, I know that you will go back to Vermont. And Jesse said, well, that's what Vermonters do, you know. He spent many more visits. And he also named he named Green Trail. Anyway, he was her mentor. I'm sure he was her soulmate. Anyway, there's all kinds of love. And I don't know. What? Yeah, I can do it. There was, well, Jesse died and Dr. Lippman died in 1939. Jesse died in 1966. And when Jesse died, my mother inherited a ring that rumors said that Dr. Lippman had given to Jesse. Mother wore it for 17 years. When she passed away, my father put the ring on my finger, and I wore it for 30 years. I was flabbergasted when I first got the ring and we had it appraised for our insurance policy. It was much more expensive than I had even imagined. So a few years ago, I hoped that I could give this ring to somebody that it would mean a great deal to. My daughter said she was not interested, she didn't want it. Why didn't we give it to a granddaughter who was waiting to get married? We thought it was a good idea, and we offered it to her, and they got married. And they're a very stable, caring couple that I'm sure is going to last for a long time. So, and they had it appraised again, and it had doubled in value since I had it appraised. It was a very expensive ring. So, my problem is, It seems to me that it was more expensive than just a friendship ring. Thank you.
Now, we'll take a few questions if anybody has any questions about the